She said, "If you don't like my friend's rude jokes, you can just pay and leave." I said, "Thanks for the option." Then I stood up, took my car keys, and walked out of the restaurant. She thought I was joking until her friends' laughter died when they realized I had just paid for my meal only. I, 29 male, just walked out of what was supposed to be a celebration dinner, and I'm sitting in my car processing what just happened. My girlfriend Vanessa, 28, of 3 years just gave me the perfect out, and I took it. Quick background: Vanessa and I have been together since we met at a friend's housewarming. She was funny, ambitious, worked as a marketing coordinator. We clicked instantly. Moved in together after 18 months. Everything was mostly good, except for one thing: her friend group. Her core group consists of 3 women she's known since college: Meredith, 29F, Jasmine, 28F, and Bianca, 27F. They're intense. Always been a bit much, but lately they've gotten worse. They make these jokes about me constantly. Started small, comments about my job: I'm an electrician; my hobbies: I restore old motorcycles; my clothes. I brushed it off initially because Vanessa would laugh along, but tell me privately she didn't mean it. Tonight was Vanessa's promotion celebration. She just got bumped up to senior marketing coordinator. I was genuinely proud, suggested we all go to this nice steakhouse downtown, my treat for the whole table, wanted to do something special for her. Everything started fine. Drinks, appetizers, everyone chatting. Then Meredith started. "So Jake, still playing with wires for a living? Must be nice having such a simple job. Not much thinking required, right?" I smiled. Actually, electrical work requires quite a bit of problem solving and... "Oh please," Jasmine cut in. "It's not like you need a degree. Van here's killing it in corporate while you're... what's that thing you do with the bikes?" "I restore vintage motorcycles. Just finished a 1978 Honda." "How much money do you waste on those rust buckets?" Bianca laughed. "Vanessa, girl, you could do so much better. Remember Thomas from the conference? Now he had ambition." I looked at Vanessa. She was smiling, shaking her head like, "Oh, you guys," not defending me, not even slightly. The jokes continued through dinner. Everything from my grease monkey hobbies to how I probably couldn't understand Vanessa's complex marketing strategies, to Meredith actually saying I was lucky Vanessa was willing to date down. The final straw was when Jasmine said, "Honestly, Van, when are you gonna upgrade? Jake's sweet, but come on, you're executive material and he's... well..." I set down my fork. "Vanessa," she sighed. "Jake, they're just joking around." "It doesn't feel like joking." "Oh my God, he's so sensitive," Bianca laughed. "What, gonna cry because we hurt your feelings?" I stayed calm. "I'm not comfortable with this." That's when Vanessa said it. Looked me dead in the eye and said, "Look, if you don't like my friend's rude jokes, you can just pay and leave." The table went quiet for a second. Then Meredith started giggling. "She really said it. Thanks for the option," I said, standing up. I pulled out my wallet, did quick math for my meal plus tip, and put cash on the table. "This covers mine." Vanessa rolled her eyes. "Jake, sit down. Don't be dramatic." I picked up my keys. "Enjoy your celebration dinner." The laughter started as I walked away. I heard Jasmine say, "He'll be back in 5 minutes, watch." I didn't go back. Made it to my car and sat there for a few minutes. My phone started blowing up about 10 minutes later. First Vanessa, "Very funny. Come back and pay the bill." Then, "Jake, this isn't cute anymore." Then, "Are you serious right now?" I drove home. More texts flooded in. Apparently reality hit when the server brought the check. It was close to $400 for the whole table. They'd ordered expensive steaks, multiple cocktails, desserts, and I'd only left $60 for my meal and tip. Vanessa called 15 times on my drive home. I didn't answer. When I pulled into our apartment complex, she'd already left 3 voicemails, escalating from annoyed to furious. I'm going inside now to pack some things. Not sure what happens next, but I'm done being the punchline. Update 1. Didn't sleep much. Crashed at my buddy Marcus's place after grabbing some clothes and toiletries from the apartment. The text assault continued all night. "Vanessa, I can't believe you humiliated me like that. My friends think you're pathetic. You left me with a $400 bill. This is so embarrassing. You need to Venmo me right now. Answer your phone." Around 2 a.m., her friends joined in. Meredith sent a long paragraph about how I'm financially abusive for tricking them into thinking I'd pay. Jasmine called me a petty loser. Bianca sent a Venmo request for $100 with the note for emotional damages. I blocked all 4 of them and tried to get some sleep. This morning, woke up to knocking on Marcus's door. It was Vanessa. Marcus, absolute legend, told her I wasn't there. She didn't buy it. I know he's in there. His truck is outside. Marcus? Haven't seen him. Maybe he parked here and Ubered somewhere? She stood there for 20 minutes, alternating between pounding on the door and calling my blocked number. Eventually she left, but not before yelling, "This is so childish, Jake. You can't just run away from your responsibilities." My responsibilities? I paid for my food. That was my only responsibility. Marcus made coffee and we talked. He's been saying for months that Vanessa's friends were toxic and she enables them. Bro, remember when they joked about your mom's accent at your birthday dinner? Or when they said your sister's wedding was cute for a budget event? You deserve better. He's right. I've been making excuses for too long. Around 10 a.m., started getting calls from unknown numbers. Finally answered one. It was Vanessa calling from her work phone. "Jake, we need to talk." "Okay, talk. Not over the phone. Come home." "I'm good." "You're being ridiculous. So you got your feelings hurt. My friends were just having fun. You embarrassed me in front of everyone and stuck me with the bill." "I paid for my meal, Vanessa. You told me I could pay and leave. I took your suggestion. I didn't think you'd actually leave. Who does that?" "Someone who's tired of being disrespected." She switched tactics. "Baby, please, I'm sorry they went too far. Come home and we'll talk. Just, can you please send me money for last night? I had to put the whole thing on my credit card." No, you invited us out to celebrate your promotion. Then your friends spent the entire dinner insulting me while you sat there laughing. I'm not paying for that experience. This is insane. You can't just... I hung up. She started calling from other numbers. I stopped answering. But then something interesting happened. Got a text from an unknown number. "Hey, this is Bianca's boyfriend, Terrell. Just wanted to say I heard what happened and good for you, man. They've been talking trash about you for years." Bianca showed me the texts and honestly, you did the right thing. They're all at Vanessa's place right now, plotting some kind of revenge. Just thought you should know. Revenge? For what? For not being their personal ATM? Going to lay low at Marcus's for a few more days while I figure out next steps. The lease is in both our names, but I pay majority of rent, naturally. Going to need to deal with that soon. What kills me is not once has Vanessa actually apologized for her friend's behavior or acknowledged how messed up it was. It's all about the money and her embarrassment. Update 2. Well, the revenge materialized. It's both pathetic and infuriating. First, some good news. Went by the apartment while Vanessa was at work to grab more stuff. Found a notice on the door, noise complaint from Monday night. Apparently her strategy session with the Mean Girls Club got loud enough that multiple neighbors complained. That's going on our rental record. Great. Inside, the place was a disaster. Wine bottles everywhere, food containers on the counter, my PlayStation mysteriously missing. Found it hidden in her closet later. But the real kicker? She'd gone through my toolbox and sold several of my specialty electrical tools on Facebook Marketplace. Found the listings through a mutual friend. My Klein voltage tester kit 300s, Fluke multimeter, $400, and several other pieces, all priced to sell fast. I screenshot everything. Then I noticed something else. She'd been in my project room. The 1978 Honda CB750 I've been restoring. She'd listed it on Craigslist. Mechanic special, needs work, $2,000 OBO, must go ASAP. That bike is worth at least $6 in its current state, probably $10K when I'm done. And it's not even hers to sell. I called the police non-emergency line, explained the situation. They said since we live together, it's complicated, but selling someone else's property without permission is theft. They suggested I document everything and file a report. While I was taking photos, got a text from my landlord. "Jake, need to talk to you about the lease. Vanessa called saying you abandoned the apartment and she wants you off the lease. Also received noise complaint. Please call me." Called him immediately. "Mr. Chen's been my landlord for 3 years. Good guy." Explained the situation. "She says you moved out and won't pay rent anymore." I've been gone 3 days because of a domestic situation. I'm not abandoning anything. In fact, I'm in the apartment right now. She made it sound like you'd been gone for weeks. Look, between you and me, I'd rather keep you as a tenant. You've never been late on rent. Never had complaints until now. If you want to take over the lease solo, I'm open to that. What about her? She'd need to agree to be removed, or you'd both need to break the lease. But Jake, that noise complaint is a problem. One more and I'll have grounds for eviction. Interesting. After documenting everything, I removed my bike from the apartment, took it to Marcus's garage. Also grabbed all my valuable tools that hadn't been sold yet. Left anything we'd bought together, took only what was mine before the relationship. That evening, Vanessa came home to find me loading the last box into my truck. What are you doing? Moving my things to a safe location since you're selling them without my permission. I needed money to pay for that dinner you walked out on. So you stole my tools. It's not stealing. We live together. What's yours is mine. That's not how anything works, Vanessa. She stood there in her work clothes, arms crossed. Behind her, I could see Meredith's car pulling up. Of course, you're not seriously ending our relationship over one dinner. It's not about one dinner. It's about 3 years of your friends disrespecting me while you enabled them. It's about you literally telling me to leave if I didn't like it. It's about you stealing from me when I took you at your word. Meredith got out of her car. Oh good, the loser's here. Jake, you owe Vanessa $400. I kept loading my truck. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You invited everyone out, and then paid for my portion when I was told to leave, which I did. Meredith looked at Vanessa. I told you he was too proud. Blue-collar guys always have fragile egos. I laughed. Actually laughed. My ego's fine. My boundaries are just finally clear. Loaded the last box, closed the truck. Vanessa grabbed my arm. Jake, please, let's talk about this. We are talking. I'm telling you I'm done. I'll deal with the lease this week. I suggest you find a roommate. Maybe one of your friends, since they're so successful and ambitious. You're really throwing away 3 years? No, you did that. I'm just refusing to subsidize it anymore. Drove away with them both staring. Felt like a weight had been lifted. That night she tried calling from various numbers again. Finally left a voicemail. You're right, okay? My friends were out of line, but you didn't have to be so cruel about it. Please come home. We can work this out. I love you. Too little, too late. Final update time for the conclusion of this ridiculous saga. After I moved my stuff out, filed a police report for the stolen tools. With the screenshots of her Facebook Marketplace posts and my receipts, it was pretty straightforward. The officer said they'd follow up with her. Met with Mr. Chen about the lease. Vanessa refused to be removed, thinking she had leverage. She didn't realize I'd been documenting everything. See, turns out selling stolen goods online leaves quite a trail. Also turns out that when you have 3 noise complaints in 2 weeks, yeah, she kept having her friends over for support, violate the lease terms about unauthorized sales of another tenant's property, and harass other tenants. She'd been bothering Marcus asking where I was. The landlord has options. Mr. Chen served her with a cure or quit notice. She had 3 days to remedy the lease violations or face eviction proceedings. Suddenly, she was very interested in being removed from the lease. But here's where it gets beautiful. Remember Terrell, Bianca's boyfriend? He reached out again. Turns out he was sick of Bianca's behavior too. The final straw? She'd been making fun of him to Vanessa and the others, calling him practice boyfriend until she found someone better. He dumped her and moved out of their shared place the same week. Then the dominoes started falling. Without Terrell paying half her rent, Bianca couldn't afford her apartment. She tried moving in with Vanessa, but remember that cure or quit notice? Having unauthorized occupants would violate it. Jasmine's situation imploded when her boyfriend saw the texts she'd sent me demanding money. He realized if she was this entitled with me, what was she like with him? They're on a break now. Meredith, the ringleader, lost her job. Not because of this drama, but because she'd been spending work hours on social media talking trash about various people, including coworkers. HR finally had enough. Without a job, she couldn't keep up with her lifestyle. Meanwhile, I found a great 1-bedroom apartment closer to work. Rent's actually cheaper, Been focusing on my bike restoration, should have it completed by spring. Even picked up some side electrical work that's paying well. Yesterday, got one last text from Vanessa. She's moving back in with her parents. The friend group apparently imploded when money got tight and they started turning on each other. Bianca blamed Vanessa for ruining everything by dating down. Jasmine accused Meredith of being a bad influence. Meredith said they were all ungrateful. I see now how toxic they were, her text said. I should have stood up for you. I'm sorry. Is there any chance we could try again? I didn't respond. There's nothing to say. Marcus helped me move into my new place last weekend. As we were carrying boxes, he said something that stuck with me. Bro, you didn't just dodge a bullet, you dodged a whole firing squad. He's right. Oh, and the best part? I ran into Terrell at a sports bar last week. We grabbed a beer, compared notes on our exes. Turns out we have a lot in common. Both blue-collar guys who were dating women who thought they were settling. We're planning to hang out again this weekend, might check out a motorcycle show. Sometimes the best revenge isn't elaborate. Sometimes it's just refusing to be anyone's meal ticket or punching bag. They wanted me to pay? Well, they're all paying now, just not in the way they expected. My mom called me yesterday, said I sounded happier than I have in years. She's right. I am. Funny how much lighter you feel when you stop carrying people who don't respect you.